I'd like to discuss Newburgh's Trees on Liberty project for my community success story. I wanted to highlight a community forestry project in New York, so I reached out to local foresters at the Department of Environmental Conservation. A forester who responded named George Profis said he and the department were proud of this urban forestry project they completed in Newburgh called Trees on Liberty, and sent a YouTube clip to me. After watching the clip, I decided this was a great project to write about. Trees on Liberty began in 2015 when the Conservation Advisory Council of Newburgh realized they had a few issues. The city was covered in hard surfaces that made stormwater difficult to drain. When it did drain, it picked up pollutants from the road that emptied into the nearby Hudson River. The council also recognized that heavy development had reduced air quality and that the roads and buildings created a heat island effect in the city. The council reached out to Pace University and Cornell University to assist them in creating a 29-page document that outlined a green infrastructure plan for Newburgh. In this plan was the proposal for 27 small trees to be planted along Liberty Street in Newburgh. The trees were chosen to be small so they would not interfere with existing power lines on the street. Grants written by the Conservation Advisory Council members Kippy Boyle and Deborah Dresser were applied for and secured from TD Bank and the Arbor Day Foundation. In addition to the 27 trees, Cornell University developed a soil to plant the trees in. This soil uses a mix of local soils and aggregate. It is more porous than regular soil, allowing greater drainage into the ground, preventing flooding and refilling the aquifers underneath the city. Draining the water in the ground also prevents harmful chemicals from being washed off the streets and into the sewers, which empty into the Hudson River. Marcel Barrick, a member of the Conservation Advisory Council, states that the trees provide an additional benefit, as wherever these trees are planted and cast shade into the street, it is going to physically cool that environment, helping to reduce the heat island effect. Lastly, the trees serve to beautify the community, and statistics show that tree-lined streets reduce crime. Dresser said of Trees on Liberty, "The greatest accomplishment was the community that was energized around trees. Something new, good, and wholesome was happening, and the neighbors were proud to be part of it." City Manager Michael Ciaravino praised the project and the community, stating it exemplified Newburgh citizens' continuing efforts to celebrate and improve sustainability through real, grassroots civic action. The last day of the installation also served as a festival to involve the local community and educate them regarding the 29-page green infrastructure document developed by the Conservation Advisory Council. As you can see in some of the photographs, people of all ages were encouraged to attend and participate. The last 2 trees were planted by the community as part of the festival. There are several lessons that can be learned from the success of this community project. One is that local organizations and volunteers can make a big impact. Without the Conservation Advisory Council's dedication to improving Newburgh's adaptive capacity, grants would not have been applied for and the state organizations may not have gotten involved. Second, that local colleges and institutions, such as TD Bank, offer resources that should be taken advantage of by communities. Grant writing assistance, funding for local improvement projects, and the development of new technologies all came from these institutions. Third, that even though a project may seem small, it can be inspiring and create a precedent for other communities to use their social capital as well as collective action to achieve sustainability projects. Grassroots movements are powerful because they develop out of the will of the people. With assistance from institutions such as state forestry agencies, colleges, and financial power brokers, this movement grew to fruition and completed an objective it set out to achieve. Newburgh's changes to improve their drainage system in relation to the Hudson River also affects all other communities downriver from it. A community doesn't necessarily live in isolation, and a positive outcome can improve the lives of those outside the community as well. One can hope that Newburgh and its neighbors will continue on the path towards a greener infrastructure, citizen participation, and community investment.